Hey y'all, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. If you have been seeing all of my content lately, then you know that I am a big fan of Chat GPT and AI. It was something that early on I was definitely scared to jump into, not scared as in scared of AI in general, but that I thought it was going to be super cumbersome and take up too much of my time. And I can say AI is the reason why I'm able to show up on all of my platforms more consistently than I have been in the past, and I love sharing those tools with you. I have a couple of videos and resources. I'm gonna link all of it down below. In this video, I'm here to clear the air with a few Chat GPT mistakes you're probably using. This is based off of my conversation with different people as I ask them how their Chat GPT journey is going. Keep watching so you can make sure to avoid these mistakes. Let's get started. The first mistake people are using with Chat GPT is that you're using it to get factual information. Now, I understand that it can sound really convincing whenever you ask it a question and it gives you this regurgitation of all of this different information, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's aggregating like an encyclopedia, a bunch of data that has already been archived on its platform. And I'm definitely saying this in non-science techie terms. The second it gets loaded on one day, the day after, it's already outdated. So you could essentially be receiving outdated information. In my opinion, ChatGPT is not the place for you to get factual inspiration. Instead, it's a place for you to get research and ideation and fine-tuning ideas and creative ideas. Instead, use ChatGPT for brainstorming and inspiration, and rely on traditional research methods to get your factual information. There have been times that I have asked it something and it has completely fabricated the answer. This is not to deter you from using ChatGPT. However, the more you know, the better you can make in your journey with ChatGPT. So, mistake number one, don't use it to rely on factual information, rather ideation and brainstorming. Mistake number two is that you're giving up too soon. I have talked to many teacher creators, and a trend that I hear is, well, I just was asking it questions and it just wasn't giving me the answer that I wanted. And then when I started to probe a little more and ask them, what type of questions were you asking? Can you give me some examples? The light bulb went on for me on why they were receiving the answers that they were getting. If you're not getting the results you wanted, don't assume the task can't be done. Try tweaking your prompts. You'd be surprised how one small tweak can completely change the trajectory of your questions. When you're in a chat, you can build off of the prompts that you're giving it. So you can give it a scope of what you want it to respond to, and then you can ask it to simplify or change the tone or build off of that prompt from there. I find, and I shared this in a previous video, which again, I'm gonna link all those AI resources down below, is when I give it too big of a task, I do not like the quality that comes out. I like giving it very simple, short prompts and then expanding from that. Try rewording the prompt, simplifying the language, or adding more context to your prompt in order to get the desired result. You would be surprised just how specific you can get. I've asked ChatGPT to do things following specific frameworks, changing the tone, being as specific as I can so then it's really getting the best version of what I want out of that request. The third mistake you're making is you're using the generic tone that ChatGPT already has built in. You'll notice if you ask it a question and it comes back, it sounds very granola, and that's because it is, right? It's a robot, essentially. When you give your prompts, you can have it reply back in specific tones: playful, witty, casual, regal, bespoke, right? Is that a word? One of my girlfriends who works for Lexus, she said she's using it to help write all of the Lexus marketing copy, which is amazing. It can work for different personas. For me, I have my tone and the adjectives that I want to describe my tone of voice into ChatGPT, and it brings back exactly what I want to a point, and then if not, I give it some more prompts to get it back to what I want it to say. You can also ask it to emulate certain characters like Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, Harry Styles. I'm just making up some ideas, but if there are people that you really admire and you like the way they speak or that tone, you can also throw in those characters as well. You can also ask it to look at a landing page that already exists to give you copy or tone from that particular page. And that is very helpful if you already have a very fine messaging on content that you've created that lives on a website somewhere, and then it can build off of it. I love using adjectives to describe, and here's the thing. In the very beginning, as you're getting started with ChatGPT, you're putting in these adjectives, and it may not sound like you at first, but once you come up with your little formula recipe of adjectives that you like, then you've already done that upfront work that you can just copy and paste into future ChatGPT prompts down the line. So Mistake number 3 and how you're gonna fix it. You're gonna start adding tone to your Chat GPT prompts. Another mistake, which is also tied to some earlier mistakes, is that you haven't developed your own point of view when you're asking it a specific question. Remember when I mentioned that Chat GPT can have some outdated material? Well, if you're asking it to tell you what to think, then it's gonna be outdated content and it's not gonna sound like the angle that you want. Since I wanted to essentially help update my copy, I will give it my point of view directly. I will ask it to rewrite it. Give me 10 ways to rewrite this in a blank, blank, blank tone. And then when I give them the copy, it has my point of view in there, and then it spits it out exactly as I would like in the angle that I want it to go to. So don't let it rely on telling you what to say. Make sure you're using your unique point of view to help storytell that narrative. The next mistake you're making is that you're not giving it enough context. Again, the more specific you can make your request, the more detailed and more relevant it's going to be to what you need. This includes adding specific details or background preferences or a list of bullet points, or make sure to include X phrasing or X word. Put that in there, and then that way it can give it to you in the way you want it to. So offer as much information as possible whenever you're asking Chat GPT, because it's only going to make it easier for you down the line. The next mistake you're making is you're asking Chat GPT a ton of different questions in the same chat thread. So on the left-hand corner, how it says start a new chat, a lot of times, and I was so guilty of this, I would basically just continue asking it different things in the same chat thread. Chat GPT builds upon previous prompts that you give it. So if you're asking it about something related to email marketing and then switching to social media, it's using this data of completely different messaging and then creating it from there, as opposed to if you were to just start a new chat every single time and then it has a focused goal in each chat, it's going to give you a better engineered response. So make sure that you're separating your request to Chat GPT and new chat threads every single time. The next mistake you're making, which is similar to you're giving up too quickly, is that you take the first output as the answer. Remember, the very first answer is not going to be the best, and even when we're ideating in general, you need to go through 50 bad ideas before you get to one semi-decent nugget of goodness. So that said, I encourage you the next time you use Chat GPT to not take the first output and keep asking to build upon it. Remember, can you add more background? Can you add more relevant resources that you want it to aggregate so then it can build its response? Can you add tone? Can you get more specific in your ask so then it really crafts what you want it to create? Because I promise it will be so powerful. And I know when I say give it background, it can sound like I'm asking you to do a lot of work. What I'm actually asking you to do is think through your request and think about what you want so then it can build it for you. I can promise you that once you start getting into a groove and using it more, it's going to be so beneficial for you down the line. And the last mistake you're making with Chat GPT is you're not checking the answers. You're so excited that you finally started to use Chat GPT and you take it as face value and you just plop that copy into something and it could be incorrect. And that can really taint your authority and your trust with your audience. So please, please, please make sure that anything you're asking it to create that has specific details or facts or like a point of view, that you're checking that to make sure that it's aligned to what you believe in and your angle. Remember, it is a tool to help enhance us in our businesses. It is not something that you should 100% rely on without fact checking. How have you been using Chat GPT to help you further your business? I'd love to know in the comments. And what mistake were you making that you're going to be aware of so you don't make it again? If you haven't already, I would love if you liked this video and subscribed so you never miss a teacher marketing video with me again. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.